Hey guys, already. I feel like it's been such a crazy week. Cause I spent the whole week in New York, and not today, tomorrow's KCON, and I figure with like my music video release and all that, I feel like it's just been forever since I've done like an actual beauty video. So I figure I'd just sit down and do a get ready with me and show you the makeup that I feel like I changed my makeup every day since I was in New York. I'm in New Jersey now. At first I was like, oh, I can just wear whatever makeup I want. But then I get there, it's like raining. And I'm like, oh god, I need not waterproof makeup, but just like, I changed my makeup depending on like the weather, I guess, or my mood that day. And I had to change between like really like not waterproof, but like sweat-proof makeup and like oily skin makeup because my skin was like getting out. Like I think I even broke out here. It just got really frustrating. But despite like I would change products every now and then, but it all generally was like pretty much the same compared to my normal makeup routine. I feel like this feels like a normal amount. Like this is all the makeup I'm gonna be using. So it's a lot of makeup, but it's all to create just more of like a natural sort of look. Anyway, I'm just gonna get started because I'm talking way too fucking much like I used to. Isn't this such a cute? Like it's supposed to be like what is it? When you're sleeping, those sorts of masks. You can actually just use it as well as a this to keep my bangs up. The first thing I'm going to use is the 3CE isn't that such a back to baby primer? This is the green one. I put it into a little travel container because I really don't like the whole package. I do not need that much. Even like this is already way more than enough for me, so I don't need to bring in the entire bottle. For this primer, I only need to put it, it's like a green primer, it cancels out the redness, so I don't need to put it like all over the place. First, let me spread it out. This is what I would do with foundation. I kind of apply it thinly on the areas that I need it, and then use a sponge to blend it out. Because I feel like when you spread it out first like this, the sponge will eat up less product, and it'll be faster and easier to blend. And anyway, that's just to take out, like, bump down a lot of the redness, which it seems like it's doing. I hope, I don't know. Sometimes I feel like these color correction primers just make my skin look really pale. But then I do find that putting foundation on top, I end up using less foundation. Maybe a tiny bit more here. Like, I knew coming here my skin would freak out, and lo and behold, she freaks out. So, I didn't break out that much, and my skin didn't, it just got a little bit more oily. My skin tends to do that whenever I'm traveling. And I did bring all my good skincare with me. So it definitely helped a lot, but, and I actually, every night I would come home, I would end up falling, because of the jet lag, I would fall asleep in my makeup. So for 3 days straight, in the morning I would wash my face, but for 3 nights in a row, I would sleep with my makeup on, and my skin was not having it. Alright, and then for foundation, I'm just going to use this Pony Effect Cover Stay. No. This is the Everlasting Cushion. It's the more dewy formula. And with this, although it's dewy, it's more on the long wearing side, so I find I can control how much, I don't know, it's more versatile, I feel like, rather than like a matte foundation sometimes. Because if I want a matte finish, I can just, I brought the matte foundation with me, but if I just want a matte finish from this, I can just set it with a powder. If I want a dewy finish, I just leave it alone, etc., etc. I find if I just have a matte foundation, I have to go the extra mile to make it look dewy if I want a dewy foundation sort of look. The main goal with this, because I already put that green primer, right? It's mostly just about evening out everything out now, and even if I have blemishes left over, that's what concealer is for. Jesus Christ, it's fucking tough. This is the color Buff, and this is the closest color to me right now. I do have a bit of a tan, like a tan for me. Look at that. Is it looking like pale on camera? Is it matching? I don't know. Tomorrow's KCON, and I'm doing a boy beauty panel, I guess. And I have a good feeling there's not going to be that many boys in the audience, but I'm going to try to give as many like generic makeup tips as possible, because a lot of people that watch me don't do makeup, and you know, even if you don't do makeup, I think it's really cool to have like the knowledge of like how to do it. So maybe you're with something like, oh my God, I really don't know how to do makeup. And even if you don't wear makeup yourself, you know, oh, I know. You know, maybe give some suggestions. So my skin is looking pretty evened out and everything. Like it's all pretty close to one color, close. Again, my aim with the foundation is to even out the skin tone, not to cover every single thing. That is what concealer, again, is for. Before I go in with my concealer to cover my blemishes, I will use this concealer, kind of like in this area of my face, like the center. This will not only help give me a little bit more coverage. I mean, it's pretty full coverage concealer, but this will help brighten up the center of my face. Because I find that this area of my face is kind of dull. I prefer to have like this part of my face more bright. Of course, I'm not going all full Kim K and giving you like white concealer, you know what I mean? It's just like a half a shade lighter or one shade lighter than the foundation. And this, I kind of start blending and then I take off any excess on from my puff on the back of my hand. And just blend, because I really don't need to keep adding more product on top or else it'll just look more heavy. And rather than just keeping it just at the triangle, I do kind of take it onto my cheek right here because I feel like if I do it just like in a triangle, it'll make my face look more, because my cheeks are really sunken in here and I look really hungry. And I don't really like that look for myself. And honestly, contour and highlight I feel only does so much. It doesn't do that much for me. I feel like even if I add like highlighter here and like create that, as if like when people see you in person, my face is still gonna look like. So really I'm just doing that for shits and giggles. And then I'm gonna take off any excess from the sponge on the back of my hand and just go over everything. I'm really sorry about the lighting though. It's not really ideal, but it'll make it feel more relatable, am I right? Alright, now for concealer. Now usually I would just do my under eyes with this concealer, but I do have some blemishes here and I didn't really put that lighter concealer in this area, so this is more my actual just skin tone color. It's not bright or anything. I'm going to use it with, this is a tip that I learned from Pony. She used one of these, you know, these sponge applicators that you get in like, this. I bought this separately, but you usually get these sort of applicators in like eyeshadow palettes. These are actually really good for applying concealer because it actually soaks up, because it's a sponge, it soaks up a little bit of moisture from the cream concealer. And so when you're patting it, not only does the nature of this applicator make it naturally make a gradation, like help it blend it out, it's applying just like the pigment rather than like a bit of moisture that might make it slip in, slide around. So I find that applying concealer is much easier, especially on these blemishes where they can tend to kind of just like rub off the top. And now here, do you see this dark like line right here? I'm going to use basically the same method. And this is what really, like, this is why I've been into this technique a lot recently, is because it really just helps conceal that. And like I mentioned before on camera, you're still probably going to see like a physical dark, like you can see it clearly right there, but I feel like covering, like you can't really cover that unless you got like fillers or some shit. But I can at least cover the color. And this method, like using this kind of thing, just helps so much compared to if I were just to use my finger or like a sponge, like a regular sponge. I mean, I don't know if you can tell the difference on camera. Like this side over here, like the lighting's not good, so I don't know. But and also with this method, I end up using less product under the eyes. And under my eyes is where I can crease like a ton, because product just gets so gunked up there, and then because of I'm like moving my eyes around and like expressing so much, it just moves, it slips and slides around a ton. Last but not least, I do go in around my nose. Oh, and I do kind of get the corners of my eyes right here. Do rub off any excess foundation from your eyelids if you're going to be wearing foundation. Because it's just, if you're going to put eyeshadow, you should have as little product on your eyelid as possible. If you have foundation there, when you put eyeshadow on top, it's going to be all weird and gunky. Now before I set my foundation, I'm going to put a little bit of blush because I've just been into it lately, and I'm going to use this Bia one called Downy Coral. I take the small edge of my Skin Food wedge puff, I load up the end, and I take off like all of it on my hand because this is really, really pigmented. And yeah. And whatever is left, I'm going to kind of put under here. Almost like Igari makeup, I suppose. It's probably not going to show up on camera. But if you could just keep patting in with as little product on the sponge as possible, it makes it easy to build up the color. And I won't have to like keep dipping in and out of the actual pan, because as I'm pressing, the product that was like really deep set in there would start to, you know, get on my skin. You can kind of see it here, but here the light is really strong. And I do like to layer my blush a little bit. So after I use this sort of coral color, I'm going to go in with this more, like what color is this? From e.l.f. And same thing, kind of dip in there a little bit. And again, really taking it off. And then more like in the center of that orange that I put, placing it right there, like directly under the eye. And the effect, you probably are not going to see it on camera, but it adds just like, it's like the slightest bit of a watercolor kind of effect. All right, now I'm going to set my foundation. I'm going to use this Nudism, the Clio Nudism Moist Powder Pack. And this is from their Nudism line. Remember the cushion that I really hate? This is, I forgot that I bought this with the cushion, but I was looking through my stuff and I found it. I was like, oh shit, I actually bought that. But it's just like a regular powder pack. However, it's more on the moist side. It's not too drying. It's a powder, so of course it's going to mattify your skin a little bit. But it helps with the formula. It almost helps it allow your natural oils to come through more quickly than compared to using like a regular like mattifying powder. So what I like to do is I take this puff in my hand, I put it in there, and I kind of twist it just a little, and then, as per usual, take off like the top layer of that, and then holding it like this, I kind of nestle it into the corner here, and I apply it in an outward motion so I get as little powder on the outside as possible. And then whatever's left, the rest of my face. Well, not really the rest of my face, but like my T-zone, and then working outwards. And overall, it's going to give me a slightly more mattified effect, but within an hour or two, my oils, especially on the outsides here, will come through more, and it will end up looking more dewy, I guess. Alright, now we're going to go into contour and highlight. I bought this shit, and I am so excited to use it. Like, a lot of people don't know this, but I'm like, Huda makes me, like, I fucking love Huda. But it's got 4 highlighters basically in here. The first one is it's like a highlighter. It's shea butter infused with like pearl pigments. So it's actually more of like a cream, and when you touch it, it melts in your fingers. And I actually think this would be better as like under foundation, because it almost has like a pore filling quality to it. It's really thick, so when you smooth on the skin, it's almost, I can feel like on my head, I haven't tried it yet, but I can feel that if I were to apply it prior to foundation, it will help smooth out the skin first. But really, it's mostly just kind of like a base to these highlights. This highlight is kind of just like your bright, blinding highlight. The second was more of like a highlight that goes under this highlight. It's because it's a slightly deeper highlight. And then this is like a blush. It's supposed to be like a blush, but it's so like blinding that it comes off more of like a highlighter. But depending on the brush and like how much you apply, you can almost use it like a blush topper. Now I would definitely use this prior to foundation with fingers, but even in her demonstration video she used a brush. I don't think that's the ideal way to apply this, because it's like literally dipping your brush into like cream, like shea butter. So I feel like this is not proper application. But because I already put powder on my face, I'm just gonna go in this way and kind of just stamp it on the top of my cheek. And it's not gonna like, you're not gonna see much highlight going on here, but up close, you can barely see a faint, like it's on my skin a little bit, but really I'm just using it as like a kind of base for this next highlight, which I'm dipping into the white one right now. And this can be a very, very strong highlight. We all know the highlighters in Sephora, they don't fuck around. So I'm really just putting a little bit because I like the way it looks when my natural oil comes through. And the way it works with this highlighter, it looks really pretty. I'm gonna skip the more golden highlight and I'm gonna go, like I just used this one. I'm gonna skip this one, but I'm gonna go into this more pinky highlight. I'm gonna load up my brush. This is a e.l.f. highlighting brush, by the way. And tap off the excess and then touch my arm even. And almost top off that pink blush that we used. Or I used earlier. I should have done this before the pink one, but I'm going to go back into that white highlight and highlight the rest of my face. Lately, I've been highlighting above my brow bones rather than like the center of my forehead because I feel like that actually makes me look more oily. Right here above the eyebrow. When it doesn't really matter though because you didn't even see, I have my bangs down most of the time. Alright, now let's get into a little bit of contour. I'm using the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I remember this used to be more of like cardboard. I guess it's because they have it so you can refill the pans in here now. So if you use one, you can pop it out and replace it. So I guess that's why the packaging looks a little bit more permanent or, you know, it's really fucking pretty. It's a really heavy palette. I'm going to start with my nose first. I'm going to use this color. It's more of like a cool tone, sort of contouring color. I'm not going to go like, I mean, I've got a fucking nose job. I don't need to go in that hard. Mostly just getting the inner corners of my nose and the bottom of my nose, and then whatever's left, kind of taking up the side. And this is a really useful brush. It's I guess a contouring brush from e.l.f. It's kind of angled. It is kind of round, however, a little bit more round than I would prefer. But I find that the shape makes it really easy to contour the nose. And then I rub off any excess product on my hand and then blend the side off using the same brush. So I guess in that sense, this round shape does help in a way. Also my nostrils. And using this side of the brush right here, I'm going to dip into this lighter highlighting shade. Use it just in the center right here to brighten up like ever so slightly. It's more of like a matte highlight, so it's not going to like make my whole nose look like it's popping out. That's why I put like the actual like shimmery highlight on just the tip of my nose. Now that I think about it though, I probably should have highlighted last after this contouring and stuff, because lately I've also been using this highlight brush and dipping into these two shades to kind of brighten the center. But today it's more of like, it's not going to be an extreme contour highlight. It'll just be like really natural with a little bit of contour. Then I'm going to take a combination of these two with this slightly larger kind of cheek brush and take off the excess. And then concentrating on like right here where the jaw like is angled. I'm going to kind of just like pat it and pull down. This will add more of like a natural shading. And then we use the much deeper shade. Very, like, I need to take off a lot of it. And at the very, like, the very, very corner, and also right under the jaw, I'm going to take it under there. No, it's probably going to be way strong on camera, but in person it looks more natural. I promise! On one side, I didn't have any product, so I'm using that side to kind of blend it out. But it's really important that when you're using such pigmented powders to contour and highlight, that you really take off a lot. Like you dip into, you load your brush, but you remove that excess, because it can, like these, especially these days where even cheap makeup companies are making such pigmented products, you have to be very careful. And I'm going to take the middle shade, which is a little bit more warm than this side, so it's almost like more of a bronzer. I'm going to load the same cheek brush again, tapping off the excess. And then, not really under my cheekbone, but like, you see right here where the bump is, like on that part. just on the very back. I'm going to kind of, I guess, bronze on the side? Like, am I contouring? I don't know. Just right there, and also kind of connecting it downwards into that other contour we did. And I guess it's supposed to help slim down my cheekbone. Because I'd rather slim it down rather than, what is it? Define my cheekbone. Because I don't like how my cheekbones are, like, they're only wide a little bit, but I prefer them to look a little bit smaller. And also this really helps when, even in fact, just putting bronzer or something on the sides of the face and around the face will help. If your foundation is maybe too light, it will help it look a little bit more uniform when you have that shading around. And then I'm just going to take a combination of all three and contour my forehead a little bit. Completely unnecessary because my bangs are going to be down, but I think this helps bring everything together. Great, I'm going to have this thing come up again. Ugh. Now I'm just going to do my eyebrows again. Just do my eyebrows normally. And then because my hair is still gray, my go-to combination is this customizing brow from Pony Effect and the one in light brown. Technically my hair is not brown, so it still makes no sense for me to be using this brown mascara, but I find that out of all my brown mascaras, to match my gray hair, I feel like it works the best. Using customizing. Oh my fucking god, I didn't even fucking fill in my brows. Great! And now I'm going to go in with customizing, neutralizing my brows, and also kind of setting them. And then going with the other one to recolor them so I don't look like a fucking idiot. I'm like really worried because at KCON, I'm going to be meeting, like, I'm most likely going to be running into some other YouTubers, but really, even though I'm like a YouTuber myself, I still feel kind of like, oh my god, I've seen them on YouTube too, like, oh my god, like that sort of feeling. So more or less I'm still, in a way, I could possibly have that feeling, like, oh my god, fangirl moment, but even though I seem like the kind of person that, like, oh yeah, like I'm sociable or whatever, I still can kind of get social anxiety. Like sometimes I think like when I meet groups of like, I guess regular people, I'm just like, yeah, but then when it comes to people that like have followed themselves, I'm like, oh, hi, hello. I don't know, I'm gonna feel really awkward seeing these YouTubers I've been seeing on YouTube for so long now, and then seeing them in person. My eyeshadow has not been having it in this hot, humid weather, so I need to use eye primer, or else it will literally just fucking not last. And there are days where I'm, oh no, I don't need eye primer, it's a totally skippable step. But no, I notice a huge difference in how well my eyeshadow lasts. And also, I probably looked like I used a ton of eyeshadow primer, but that doe foot applicator on that specific one only puts like the thinnest amount, and I think that's important. You don't want to load up your eye with eye primer because it will probably do the opposite and make your eyeshadow more susceptible to like creasing and sliding around. So use as little as you can and then pat in whatever's on your lids. I brought this palette with me because it has like all the colors I would ever want or need. It's got, whenever I'm feeling these sorts of colors, that have brown, warm nudes, and then if I want a little bit more, I like to wear like red eyeshadow, so this has red eyeshadow. So but today I'm going to keep it very simple, throwback to like all my makeup tutorials from like last year, spilling even over into this year of just brown boy idol makeup. So I'm going to take whatever combination of these colors and kind of put that all over the lid. Oh shit, my camera died. Oh, sorry. I actually bought a spare battery, which is like the best purchase of my life, because I use the Canon G7X for I'm actually using my vlogging camera, the G7X from Canon. Amazing camera, tons of YouTubers have it. Jonah has it, Sunny Dahe has it, but the battery sucks. So if you're a vlogger and you plan on shooting a lot, I'll buy a spare battery. You can live off of one battery, but like by the time you get home, charge that shit. Anyway, I'm gonna take just a deep brown and put that on the outside corner. And taking this cute little smudge brush from e.l.f. from a subscriber. Thank you. Right here. Same brown. Oh shit, that's way too fucking strong. Great! Way too fucking much. And then my usual brown eyeliner that I've been doing for a while now. And for me, no like obvious eyeliner line. It's more just like extending my eye shape. Almost that puppy dog kind of shape with the line. It's just following the natural line of my eye. I just did my hair. I filmed a hair tutorial, so that'll be up next week. But I forgot to do my chin. This is a really useful tip for if you are, if you have a bit of a flat chin, you want more of like a V-line sort of shape to your chin. And this is where this particular contour brush comes in handy. I'm going to dip back into this sort of grayish contour shade. And what I'm going to do is look at where the point, like the center, I do have a little bit of my filler left in there, so I can see it right there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brush and starting from the side of that point, I'm going to take it straight up going this way. Not like, oh, follow the natural shape. I'm going to like actually like cut it straight across. I want to go into the darker shade. Okay. Start from the point, straight up. So I feel like that really helps. That like I've done this before, and my friends thought that I did something to my face, and they're like, "Why does your face look so sharp?" It's this certain contour technique. Straight up. And of course, it looks really fucking crazy. What the fuck is that? So obviously, you're gonna need to blend it. I'm using an eyeshadow brush to actually blend this. And I don't know, it's actually it's using quite a bit of product, but there's something, it really makes a huge difference, I think. So I'm going to dip into this color again and emphasize the point by placing that kind of basically where I didn't put the contour, in that sort of negative space. And then an actual shimmery highlight right where my chin juts out. God damn, I should have shaved. Alright, last but not least, the lip color. These are two products I saw Pony use, and I thought the color combination was beautiful, so I had to buy these myself. And at the time, I was like, damn it, it's only Sephora, and I wasn't, you know, I forgot that I was coming to New York, so I was like disappointed. But then as soon as I went to Sephora, I was like, oh shit, I remember she used these and I wanted them. I guess they're actually like lip liners, but I use these just as like my overall lip color, and because they're lip pencils, they last a long time on the lips. The first color I'm going to use is Hush Hush, and then the second one I'm going to use is Cloak and Dagger. They didn't have the one that she used in her actual video. Either it's discontinued or she mislabeled it, but it's pretty much the same color that she used. The first one is just like a brownie nude, a brownie pink nude shade, and the second is like a kind of brick red. Just to show you what kind of colors they are. I run the nude one in the center, like the fat, like right here in the center, and the fatty part of my lips. I'm not going to go all the way here because I don't feel like I need to. I have kind of small lips, so just putting it just in the center, I feel like helps emphasize my kind of small lips and make them look a little bit slightly larger. Then I'm going to take the cap off both ends, because one end is the lip color and the other end is like a lip brush. The red color I'm going to put in the very, very center. Like that. And then blend it out sideways. And whatever's left on the brush, I'm going to put that on the upper lip. I feel like that just adds like, it's still the more natural side, but there's just, you know, a pop of color. And then before I leave for the day, I'm going to spray my face with D-Slick from Urban Decay. And that is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Lots of steps. If you're not talking like me while you're doing this, it should fly by really quickly. I'll list all the products I use down below, so if you're interested in anything, they'll be down there. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out my music video with Trophy Cat for our single Stay. It hit number 3 on iTunes, the K-pop iTunes chart in America, which I'm super thankful to you guys for. So that really warms my heart. Like, I was surprised. I was showing like my mom. I was showing like all my friends. Like, oh my god, look what we did! So, but then Blackpink knocks us down by 1. So I haven't checked since then. But you know, it's Blackpink, so I'm not complaining. Anyway, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye. I haven't done that shit in a while.
Mr. Cormac.